Welcome to Go For Your Life. Thank you so much for tuning in and giving me your listening ears. Woohoo! This is a podcast for everyone, about everything, and it's to encourage, inspire, uplift you to go for your life. And it is presented and hosted by myself, Caro, and my sweet dog, Sparky. Give it up for him. I hope you're ready. Enjoy.
Welcome back, people. This is our special episode, as it always is, very special when Barbara joins us for our New Year's. Happy New Year! 22 is here with Barbara Berger.
Yeah!
Here we are.
It's our tradition, right? The Car Attack Barbara Berger connection.
That's it. It's our show. It's the Barbara Berger show.
And I think we should start with the way you found me, that I found you. Wasn't it the book fell out of your father's bookcase and fell on your head?
You fell in my lap. You just like that.
So everybody who's listening, you got to know that there's something going on here. The universe wanted us to meet.
Yeah. It was a magnetic field, was what it was. I was like, my hand was just going towards
and so tell me one more time, what year was that? What year are we talking about?
I mean, it's probably the year that my dad passed away, so I'm sure it was 16. Yeah. 2016, I think. Probably.
Was it before that?
Well, because my dad passed away in 16.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I think we've known each other for about 5 years now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, great. I mean, again, the way people find each other, it's very important.
I think that's a really beautiful thing. That's for sure. Yeah.
But it has to do with our previous lives and reincarnation and what our paths are now and all this stuff.
Yeah.
So even though we've never ever met in the flesh.
But I have the feeling that 22 might be good for us, you know? It might be. It's also, I feel like the last, 3 years or something has kind of escaped us or something, or I always say to people when you start counting, it's like, but 2020 wasn't really a year, and 2021, well, it was kind of a year, you know. So for me personally, I'm looking forward for 2022 to actually be a year again, you know, like to be.
And your definition of a year is what?
I don't know, like a year where we can actually live and see other people and maybe travel. And I don't know, maybe I was talking to Miguel the other day, how weird it feels now to even think about the time when it wasn't Corona, you know, like back in the day when you were able to travel and greet someone without a mouth mask on, you know, like it is crazy times.
Mm. But okay, we still have the power to relate to it in whatever way we want. That's our only freedom in all this.
Yeah.
Whether we can travel or not.
Yeah.
We can always travel in our minds, right?
Exactly. And through Zoom. I mean, I'm in Denmark right now. You're in Amsterdam.
Yeah.
That's it.
So tell me one thing is, if I talk about my books now, are most of your listeners, they're Dutch?
Well, I don't know. I feel like I have quite an international following, and this is also why I do my podcast in English.
Good. But I mean, if we talk about my books, I printed the Dutch titles. I don't know about
You can practice your Dutch if you like. Absolutely.
And also, can we tell the breaking news is that Car Attack is going to be the speaker when my books come out, the audio books, the 4 Dutch audio books. Sooner or later, it's bound to, and I'm going to do them in English, and you're going to do them in Dutch. And
no, I'm super, super excited. And for me, like, you know, being a podcast host and loving this kind of stuff and loving your books, and just to be your voice is going to be such an honor, like to be like reading your books in my own language. It was really nice because I remember when I kind of sent you the test, and I felt like I was overacting. And, because I was having such a good time.
It'll work fine, I'm sure, because I really want to have the people who I like to speak, the readers of my books, that it's really, I mean, it means a lot to me that it's someone like you who's actually into this stuff and who's passionate about it and who believes in it.
Yeah.
And so the 4 books in Dutch that Caro is going to be reading, hopefully now in 2022. We don't know, but we hope.
Barbara, bring it on, bring it on.
Okay, so the first one is called Fast Food voor de Ziel.
Fast food for the ziel, precies.
Okay,
Yeah.
it's in English, it's called Fast Food for the Soul.
Exactly, yeah.
And how you say it in Dutch?
Fast food for the ziel.
Wow. Okay, and then the next book is Anders Denken, Anders Leven.
Yeah, very good, Barbara. Anders denken, anders leven.
Okay. This is about the mental laws, the way the mind works, mental technology. And then the third one is, this is a real tongue twister. Ben je nu gelukkig?
Very good. Ben je nu gelukkig?
Yeah. Oh, okay, so it's called Are You Happy Now in English, 10 Ways to Live a Happy Life. And the fourth one is called The Awakening Human Being. Oh yeah, ontwaken?
Ja. Is it de ontwaken zelf, or is it just ontwaken?
Ontwaken, with K-E-N at the end.
Yeah, ontwaken. Yeah, so that's just awakening. Yeah. Yeah.
So these are the 4 that are of my books that are in Dutch. If you would like to read them in Dutch, but they're also available in English and many other languages. Just so our
because is doing audiobooks or having audiobooks made of your books a new thing for you, Barbara? Is this?
I've only had one so far, but now this company, they're doing international. They want to do my books in many languages, so that's great. So
yeah, because I think, do you feel, has it been more popular over the last few years?
Yes, definitely. So audiobooks are the big thing. I mean, don't you see everybody's walking around either they're listening to Caro Talks podcast or they're listening to
or everyone,
everyone is plugged in. So it's a really big thing. I don't know in Holland.
Absolutely. No, I mean you can see it as well, like even and I enjoy it myself as well. I mean I specifically, especially I love what you said about you doing your own, because I specifically love it when the audiobook is actually if it's the writer doing it. I mean that's really cool. You know?
I feel the same. I mean, you don't really want to hear somebody. I mean, okay, I don't speak Japanese or Dutch, or so we have to have other people, but at least in your own language.
Yeah.
So maybe we should also tell the listeners that I'm not in the United States. I'm not in England. I'm actually in Copenhagen, Denmark.
Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah. Absolutely. Yeah.
So we're like neighbors nearly, you and me.
That's where you live, and because that's where you live, and because how are things in Denmark? Is it cold now? Is it nice now? Is it are you?
It's cold, and we're on semi-lockdown, not as bad as you are, but but I think Denmark is just about on the. I mean, they say that everybody's going to get it now. That this new
Omicron, whatever.
So we have to go wear masks again, and most of you can't go in the shop, you can't, and the restaurants and the bar, all of that is closing down, and all the bigger things. So so we have to keep our energy high. That's the thing. We have to try to raise the frequency here on planet Earth. We have to have better energy. Every single one of us has an important role to play in all this.
Yeah. Do you feel like are you capable of doing that every day, Barbara, for yourself?
I'm really trying. I mean, that's the work. That's what the spiritual pathway is about. That's what we're all here to do, to evolve and grow. And whatever the outer challenges, whatever difficulties we are faced with, we still always have a choice. How are we going to relate to what's going on in front of my nose?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we can do anything about.
Yeah.
And the trick to this is that when we have a higher frequency, and by that I mean when we have better energy, when we have good energy versus negative energy, feeling afraid, feeling depressed, all the lower energies, when we have a higher frequency, we influence what's going on around us.
Yeah.
And because of law of attraction, you could say, if we envision that each one of us is kind of like a radio tower beaming a signal out to the universe, So our signal is our frequency, the level of energy that we're beaming out. And so if we are beaming out good energy, we attract people, circumstances, situations that match our frequency. Which is why people in the same situation have very different experiences, because they're on different wavelengths.
Exactly, because the frequency is different. And what do you do personally? What do you do personally to get your frequency up? Like to
well, I think that the thing, and that's something that we can talk about. I mean, that's first of all, there's two steps in this process. The one is just understanding with the rational mind mentally these principles, the way the mind works, the way the universe works. In other words, to understand that what we focus our attention on, we are putting our energy into that, and we get more of it. We attract more of it. We experience more of it. But the key to anything, before we talk about the practical exercises we can do, is to understand that in every single now moment, you always have a choice of what you're going to focus on. In other words, you're the choice maker in your life. And in every situation, you can either focus on the positive in the situation, all the good things, the potential, whatever it is that you can find that pleases you, or you can focus on everything you don't like about the situation, whatever is driving you crazy, what you feel is hope. I mean, but you always have that choice. And I like to say you can either be solution oriented or problem oriented. The reality of what you're facing is the same.
Yeah.
But this choice, how you relate to it, is actually the only power that we have. It's the only thing that we can actually do something about.
Yeah.
And if we do that, then we are exercising our personal power, and especially if we choose wisely, we can have a great influence. And the other thing to understand is you can see that people have different, I call it your hemisphere of influence. We all have a hemisphere of influence, like what our frequency, our vibration is affecting. And some people, like you, for example, or me, I've written a lot, we have a bigger reach than other people. And then there's some people who have a huge reach compared to you and I. But this hemisphere of influence, I mean, someone like the Dalai Lama, the great teachers, I mean, they have this huge influence everywhere they go and on the planet. So it's important to be aware that the ripple effect, I call it, that this, our frequency, how it goes out around us. So that's sort of the platform where you asked me the question, what actually concretely do I do, or do I recommend that other people do? Well, first of all, I always start with saying, let's just remind ourselves of what we're talking about and why this is so important. That we have far more power than we are aware of. So with that as our sort of platform or starting point, then there is a multitude of techniques and exercises, meditations, visualizations, affirmations, prayer. So all of these things that we can do to lift our frequency and to sharpen our focus and the energy that we are not only experiencing, but that we're sending out to our fellow human beings. And so that's so important. But I think another thing that's really worth talking about or reminding ourselves of, I like to say, unlock the powerhouse of your mind, and that our thoughts, we have so many thoughts that we don't even notice, I mean, it's just sort of a conditioned response. It's automatically that we're coming these, platitudes or beliefs or whatever you want to call it, that we haven't looked at, we haven't questioned. But it's important to understand that this constant mind stuff that we're repeating over and over again, they are like the blueprints that we are putting in our, you could say, subconscious. And these blueprints, like I'll never figure it out, or I'm not good enough, or the things that people are all the time saying to themselves, they are the blueprints of behavior that we unconsciously mold ourselves and our lives after.